I thought we would start out doing this pretty lady, and I will put in the memo. I got this off of Etsy, and I printed it actually on 80-pound watercolor hot press paper. So it is printed on. I next time will do it by tracing it and outlining it, but at this point we are going to use polychromos, and I worked up the very first skin colors on this one. I haven't done the rest but I will, because I put away all of my Prisma, and all my other colors are all back in their books, and we're going to work with the polychromos colors for a while. So I thought this would be just something fun and different. Let me turn on my other light, and make sure we're in frame. I got everything lined up. Yes, I checked it, but I always want to double check it. Don't want to go for a whole hour and then find out that I wasn't. So now I'm not done much in colored pencils with skin. I think I've done one. So if you want to write down these colors, these are the first and the softest skin colors, and it's ivory 103, beige red 132, cinnamon 189, burnt ochre 187. Okay. All right. So here we go. I think I'll turn her sideways. And I'm going to start out with the ivory, because this is a kind of a more Victorian skin. I should have sharpened these before I started. And I just switched from Prisma to oil, from wax to oil. So I'm going to be very careful and see how this works out. I'm going to go up in here just because, even though it's got some graying, this is a grayed picture. And again, I got it off of Amazon or Etsy. It does have the name on the bottom. And I will put the name in the comments, where you could go pull it up. On Etsy and see that there are so many that if you just wanted to do one thing, you could. Something just different than what you got in your color books. I believe that Chris Ching also has an Etsy shop. Yes, she does, now that I'm really thinking about it. And she also has those pictures that you can paint or color along with her. I got the little corgi dog that I've got printed out. And I really want to do that with her. And I will get to it. Sometimes, I don't know about you, but I get things and I start stockpiling them, and then sometimes it just seems like I never get back to them. So now let's switch to our next color. And this is the beige red. And I'm sorry, but I'm going to sharpen it. Okay. So I'm just going to start by going up in the darkest parts. As if I knew what I was doing, I'm just going to do what I would normally do if I was painting it or if I was watercoloring it. You just go into the darkest spots first and just give it a good little shadow under her nose, around her nose. And we don't want to, I don't want to do this heavy. I'm trying to keep it light. I'm going to go under her chin, just the way they've done it. Right here in this little crevice of her chin and her lips. And of course, right around her eye. I'm not going to go all the way to the top. I'm going to leave between the eyebrow and that part alone. I always like to go right underneath the cheekbone, under the eye and the cheekbone, and almost like a little half circle. I kind of make, that's what I do. I just make a little shadow in that. And I haven't done some of this in a long time because I started doing other things, trying to learn how to paint flowers. I think his name is David Jensen. Have you seen some of his flowers that he paints? He's incredible. Matter of fact, let me see it. I got his paints. I thought it would say on here. It doesn't say, because I got the whole set, and I don't know if you can see his roses. But he does more than just roses. He does everything. That man is so talented. And of course, mine didn't turn out looking like his. But, as I always say, when you get away from everybody else's and you look at yours when it's not around everybody's, it's a different story. Then you think, well, it's not so bad. But I just found those to be very hard. All right, let's switch to our next color, the cinnamon. So I'm just going to sharpen my pencil. I seem to be doing fine, switching from painting for so long with my Prisma. I don't want this little part in here to get dark. So I just want like around her ruffle where it would probably be a shadow underneath her chin here. Where the shadow is, the shadow is. That's a good teacher of how to start your darker colors. I find these grade pictures very nice because your darks are in there. So this is always a circle, and the end of her nose is a circle. So I'm just going to come up in here just like a little straight line. Make like a little V. Right or wrong, that's what I'm doing because I know there's a darker spot right along the edge of the nose there. And right here at the bridge, I'm going to darken that. And along especially the bottom of the eye. And you could start coming down and letting her cheek form a little more. Just very lightly. And if this doesn't turn out, you won't see it. But I know if you work it and work it and work it, all the darker places around the hair I'm just deepening what I've already put in there. I'm not necessarily going all the way down like in that. So I'm going to come back with my beige red, and I'm going to work on her cheek a little. It's a step back of color. And I just want to go down a little ways. I don't want it too far. So I want her cheekbone to stand out above her eye. Can highlight this a little bit more. It's dark underneath, so I can make this lighter on top, but we want to keep some of our really light spots. But I definitely want to just keep it soft and gentle. Soft and gentle. And I'm just taking away some of this white in her forehead around here, but I'm making it more pink. Because this is the step up from the creamy color, ivory. We're just going to keep working it. Just kind of taking out a lot of the white, and then we're just come back and darken the dark spots. I want to leave that white right above her eyebrow there, right below her eyebrow and above her brow. Keep it light colored. Okay, it's starting to take some shape. Like I said, I'm just doing what it seems natural to me. And I know a lot of times we start something when we really don't know what we're doing. We're hoping we're going to move along and it's going to turn out. We got an idea in our head and off we go. I'm just making little tiny circles, really, 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 really light. And we're going to come back in and darken it again. In the darker spots. But I'm barely giving it this pencil. I'm only guiding it. The pencil's almost coloring it. And I'm just going back and forth. It doesn't color as quickly as our Prisma. And I remember when I first got these, I was like, oh my gosh, I just love, love, love these. And I want this to just to darken a little bit right there, because it's very dark here. I want it here, but I want that highlight left there. So I'm just trying to just keep her little face look really smooth. So this would go along with any of the books that you have faces in. I don't know what I got there, if I've gotten something. Let's try this. I always try to mush this before I start using it again, just in case, because I use it a lot for something. And this will lift rather than erase if it's something. There it's going. Whatever it was, it must have been something on one of my pencils, and that's something you have to watch for, especially when you're doing lighter colors, so that you're not adding some little goop or something on it. Okay, let's try it again. And who knows what it was? I don't know. I used to make clay dolls from scratch. So this is and I really want the bridge of her nose to be light. So let's go back to our cinnamon. Yep. And I'm just going to kind of start all over again. Make sure I'm where you're seeing me. Where's my hand? Okay, I'm okay. With all the lights, it's hard to see too much. So I'm just slowly adding my depths by shadows and deepening these colors slowly so that I can leave some of the colors and just think to yourself, where are the shadows on somebody's face? Look it up on the internet. Look up shadowing a face or something to give you an idea. And then you can come and go in and work on your face and practice. I also have one that I've printed off. Let me get it. I'll show you. My very first one. And I got it on Etsy too, also. And I really messed up the leaves, but, well, some of them I printed it on both sides. I painted some out, but this was my intense ink that I did this part in. This was all done in pencil, and I just wanted to practice. I thought her eyes turned out good, but you can see I got a little too much yellow in there. I don't know what I was thinking about yellow, but maybe I didn't have good lighting. But anyway, I got that print off of Etsy also. They have all kinds. I got a little color book, I think for $5. You can print any of them you want off. You just download it and then you've got it. And it's a bunch of little girls. And I thought it would be fun to try. But I do have watercolor paper that I cut it. It needs to be cut just a little bit. See, on this side, there's just a little bit of a lip there. But I cut it on my paper cutter so it would fit widthwise in my printer, because it's only an 8 wide is all it'll take. So then I can print it on right directly on my I'm liking her face on my paper. Yep, I am liking her face. I haven't gone to the deepest, the burnt ochre. Let me sharpen that. Okay. I just think her dress and everything is so pretty. So I think what I want to do here is just deepen just a little bit. This is going to have to be very careful because I don't want it to be too dark. So I'm going to just go way up in the top. Let's see if you can see it better on this way. This needs a new piece of tape. Just very, very along the very edge. And I just want to make that darker. I want that to stand out. But this is a yellow color, so I do not want it to be overwhelming. I just want the deepest, darkest spots. To be darker. And then maybe I'll see how are we looking. All right. I'm thinking about her blushy cheeks. I wonder what color would be good for that. I'm going to try this one. This one looks kind of like, well, I can't, this gold is really hard to read. Well, it's something red. It's 1090. So I'm going to sharpen it. And I just want to touch her lips. Just a little bit. I want them to look natural, not bright red lipstick. And I'm going to try to highlight her cheek. Just to make it a little bit. There was something on here. This is where we erased. Whatever that was. So I had to make it just a little bit darker. And I'm going to come in and pull some of that right back off. See what... This thing just is like a major miracle. How easily it helps you remove or add color. It doesn't add color. Helps you take away darker colors and other things without making a mess. And for some reason in that little area, it just wants to be more than I want it to be. So, what color eyes do we want her to have? Blue? Okay. I'm looking at my blues. a variety of pretty blues. So the only thing I miss is the variety that I have with other colors like Prisma and I think I have most of the colors. I don't know if I have that many yet. Let's see, what color is this? Persian blue. Now I do not want to do the whole little I think that was too dark. I don't think that was a good choice. So where's my white? Maybe I don't have white in here. Yes, we do. I do. I haven't had these very long. Let's see if they'll blend. Maybe get a little dark, lighter blue. Sorry, I should have come through and now, let's see. Let's try a number 2. Where's my... I put everything away now. I'm not going to be able to find anything. Darned if I do and darned if I don't. Oh, there it is. I was looking for my little pad. All right, it's writing well. So I'm just gonna, I went out a little farther and see if I can. Then we will take my white pen. I always bounce it to get it to flowing, so that when I do my little dot, it's going to do my little dot. Okay. It's not doing my little dot yet. There we go. Now it's gotten juicy. How's that? I think it'll be okay. And she does have a little highlight on her lip. Can't remember if it's supposed to be top or bottom, but we did the bottom, so. Okay, I'm going to call her face, her face. So I think we'll start in her flower, in her hat. And I'm going to go with a few shades of pink. This is a Charisma. Looks like A-L-I-Z. Alizarin. Anyway, it's a 226. And that's going to be my deep color. So I'm going to start in the shadows of this flower. I just want to go down into the deep parts for now. It's hard to tell if that's something different or if that's something. So any part that's really dark, I want to go in there with this deep pinky red. Then we'll come back in with a lighter color. These that have the grays and stuff in them kind of teach you also where to do this if you didn't have the grays. So I'm just thinking, you know, this also teaches you, if you pay attention, how. Isn't her hat pretty? And her dress too. To me, her dress just looks very light and silky. So I hope we can do it justice. You gotta keep looking for those shadows. It snowed here today. Windy, cold, and it was starting to get so nice. And I think it came down from Wyoming. We've never had so much high wind. It's just been a snowy, cold winter. But I'm not going to complain. We don't have tornadoes. We don't have the flooding. See, this leaf is starting to get darker, so I'm going to lightly, this petal, fill it in. What's that tape? And I might use distressed ink on her hat, because it does make it look more like it looks like velvety soft. And I think her hat kind of makes her. And her little bird. This was the most expensive picture I bought. I was going to see. It says down here if you want to look it up while we're... Let's see. Lenka, Lenka. Her last name is F as in Frank, Filonenko. And you can go to www.lenka and her last name.com. But this is, if you go to Etsy, you can print it. But you could probably do that there too. And these are for personal use only. Do not share uncolored images. So, but it's kind of nice that she left that far enough down to where if you want to frame this, which I might, I don't know yet, but it is pretty. So I don't know if they draw them or if they pull them off of there's free sites. I was looking into a lot of the color books. How do they make color books? Because I thought I can draw some of these things and maybe make a color book. And anyway, it would take me, you know how it is when you're not in practice. You have to sit down and get it back together. But a lot of them are just free images off of the internet. And these people are making color books and selling them on and I'm not saying any of our books. Some of them I bet you they are, but I've seen Joanna color and draw, and she's got teaching, and I found a picture where she was teaching how to draw a bug. And you draw it. Fold your paper like in half, and then you draw your bug. Whatever you're going to do. These are leaves. You know how she does. And then you trace that and you move it over and trace it onto this side. And you have a perfectly symmetrical whatever you're doing. Now tell me that isn't a cool thing to do. I thought, wow. All right, so now I'm going to switch up to a lighter color. And I don't know if this will work, but we're going to try it. It is 130 Salmon. And so I'm just going to leave a little bit of white, go into the red where I made the depths. So even this, if there is no white, I'm gonna go in there just a little bit heavy and pull it up. And I'm gonna go down in there and pull some of that up. That one will be light because its little petal is turning. And I'm going to leave some white at the end here. The same with some of these outer edges. I'm just going to pull some of that red up. I'm going to press into it, trying to get it to blend a little bit, and leave for another color. Lighten that. The same thing. And we'll just pick another color. And we'll see how that turns out. When you didn't draw the flower, sometimes it's a little bit hard to tell what's going on. Where's that leaf really going? Okay, I'm not sure what that is, so I'm gonna just make it pink. I think some of them are turning up and some are flipping out. I think that's what it is. Okay, we're going to say that's what it is. So that's the direction we want to make our petal strokes, is the direction that the petal is going, so that it looks good, right? Okay. For those who've watched some of the other ones, I have a neighbor that is a friend. I've known him for many, many years. And I rent this little house in the back from him. Very, very, very reasonable. And he has a refuge dog that is a barker. So I was trying to figure out, what are we going to do so he doesn't hear him barking. So we have this system. I have a little tiny string of Christmas lights, just a little one, in my kitchen window. And I have been leaving them up since Christmas, and I just plug them in at night, and that's like my little light if I go into the kitchen. So he says, if you're blogging, he says, why don't you plug those in? And then when I look out, I can see them, whether it's day or night. And then he will know to keep the dog quiet. So I'm so grateful it's working out. Because he's a sweet little dog. Things aggravate him. Like a cat sitting in the window. We're going to go to white. And I don't know how these blend. Well, they're not like Prisma. So I'm going to go over it with the white. All this light spots. And then I'm going to come in, I think that was a leaf. And then I'll come in with a little bit of color and add it to it. So I'm just going over the flower with the white, which makes it pretty. But maybe a very light pink and just touch it up. Not all of it. I want a lot of the white to keep showing. I like it. But look how easy it was to do that flower when you think about doing the depths of it. Not all of it, just the very, like trying to get down inside of a petal. And just barely doing that part. Because that's all we did. We just barely did the very center, and then we came back and used the second color on each petal. And you have to do it petal by petal. I have tried coloring it in and trying to make, that doesn't work at all. That's not even good sense. Wonder what was this one? This one is a red beige. This might just blend too close. So I'm just barely touching it because it is really the same color. It's not, but it's really close. Just here and there. And then I don't want it to all be anything, but I definitely don't want to cover up all my white. Okay, that's what that is going to be. And then we have the one on her belt to do too. I really like her face. I might have to work just a little bit on her eye, but it's not bad. So these feathers are really pretty. But I'm thinking we should go ahead while we freshen our mind and do the flower on her waist. So we took the deepest color and we went down into the deepest parts, which really does not take long to do that. Nor is it, very intent. It's just we just want it to be highlighted. And we always go the way the petal grows. With anything that we color, however it grows is how we make it go. There's a really dark spot right there. And if you're paying attention, you'll be able to see how these are. And if you try to draw or paint this flower, you would be able to do it on your own. And you can go on, if you can't, really have a hard time drawing, you can go on Pinterest, put in drawings of flowers. And you can get a lot of things that you can freely print off and trace or print off on a piece of paper. And practice. All right, so the next color we used was our pink 130. And we colored everything except we left a little white on everything. And I do need to come back when we do this and do the center. So I'm just hitting and touching, going into the red. And pulling it out. It doesn't blend like Prisma does at all. Prisma, you can really move it around a lot. And I just want these little lines to come out like little lines so that it looks like. And you can go backwards and do the ends and push it in. Like that. Pull some out on some of these bigger leaves. Just to give it a little bit of different look. Alright, so now I think this leaf is coming up and flipping over is what it looks like. How can it do that to me? Sometimes my mind starts thinking about some of the stuff that goes on in the world today, and I just trying not to think. Trying just to keep happy thoughts. Not to worry. See? When you practice this a little bit, you'll be a pro in no time at making flowers. Especially petaled flowers like these. When I get a determination that I'm tired of trying and it's not turning out, then I figure out, okay, now how do I find out how to do this correctly? And I get busy and I start looking until I find somebody that can show me what am I doing wrong, you know? So now we took the white and we went all over the leaves. This time I am going all over. I'm not going leaf per se. I'm just covering it. It moves a teeny bit, but not much. It definitely is not like Prismacolors. But it is nice. I love them too. I just have to get used to them again. And probably because I get used to these, then you go to Prisma, and there really is a difference in the. Alright, so which one did we use? I'd hate to have to rewatch the video to find out. I think that's the color we use. I don't think that's what I want to use. I think this is what I want to use. I just want to fill in some of the white because it will bring in some of this little bit of pink. And that's all we want, is just a touch. We want a touch of the white and a touch of this pink to show through. And it's got to be a lighter enough color to where it's just given a hint of color in your flower leaf. I like it. I like it a lot. What do you think? Very pretty. So we got her flowers, her face done, and I have not decided what color dress we're going to do her in, and we don't want to do anything. We want to keep it soft. So I think we'll do the leaves next. So I want to keep it kind of a muted. And what other color? These two. And one more color. We can put a little pink in our leaves this time. Don't let me forget. That's what we're going to do. Oh, let's see. I bet you these two are the same color. They are. No wonder I like it. Okay. So let's start with these, and we're going to put a hand of pink in our leaves. So I'm going to start with this one. We're going to say this is our darkest color. I'm going to come in like this. Then I'm going to grab my medium pink, and I'm going to fill in like that. Okay? So that's our routine. And a little bit. Just blend it a little bit. Okay. always keep all my pencils in my hand. And I don't know why I feel like I have to, but I do. I wonder if we... I just want it to look really soft and pretty. I'll try putting the pink right there this time. And I'll do a little white right there. I don't know how much I like that, but a little at the top and a little at the bottom. And a little bit of pink. I don't know why I keep wanting to make her dress pink too. It's a different shade than what her flowers are. I'm just want her to look very, very soft and elegant. It's so quiet and peaceful. I'm liking it. Looks like the shadowy went on that side now. So we're going to move to that side. Let's see. I'm just following the shadows of the artist. See what it ends up looking like. Just thinking about the feathers. What color to make them. Let's see, it's a dark. Oh, I bet you I turned my computer off and I copied where to go to. I'll have to go find it again once this is uploaded. Doggone. Okay. If you got too much pink, just go over it with your colors. Whoops. I send it flying. I think that's a piece of the feather. You get intent. And you get quiet. But that's okay. So I think I need to make up my mind about the dress before I do the feathers. Wow, she's really pretty. I'm thinking I need a darker color, just a little bit, to go down the center. See if this is dark enough. Yeah, it's not so dark. It just gives it a hint. And I think it needed that. Just to separate and bring back that line that was in there. And now the leaf doesn't look so all in one. Okay. I didn't even see the stem was. These other ones, the stems are pretty black. Maybe right there. There. Oh, we still got this little batch, but let me do this so I don't forget to come down here. It just kind of makes it stand out a little bit more. Just run around the edge of that. Okay. A little bird will be cute to do. Make his little face. Okay. So, what if we did pink and green? Or should we do it this color, green? I'm thinking mixing the dress. Do like this part pink and this part green. Okay. We're going to go for it. Whatever happens, happens. As I've told you before, I like pink and green. Let's see if we can't keep it soft. Make it a little darker. Trying to push that line out. And then I think we'll do this in pink. This would be a good time to use that color chart. I will do a quick video on that so that it's by itself too, because I just think that quilting color wheel is the easiest thing to use, which they probably all are if I just use them, but it would also give me a more variety of colors to get into my pictures, is what I'm thinking. Well, I don't know about you, but I'm liking the green. Especially this color green. And I want to definitely deepen these little lines. She already looks soft and pretty, huh? I will find a frame and frame this. You don't have to press any harder, but you have to go over it and over it and over it, seems like, to get the depth of a color that you want, especially if you want it to look like what the pencil looks like. This is oil, which you probably know. I like it. So now there's like a little ruffle in between, but I'm going to ignore that for now. And I'm going to do this part in our pink that we used. I just want to deepen that right away. And spread it out. May have to come in with another darker pink. And give that more highlight. The clothes in this era were so pretty. That's why that one book that I showed you with all, it reminded me of all the seasons that they used to, back in the 70s, had that, those women on those big long pictures of the seasons, like summer, winter, fall. And they were so, I thought they were pretty. I always liked them, and I got that book that looks real similar to it. And I show it to you? Let me just show you, because this lady has been very ill and she's selling her books to help pay her medical bills off. If you haven't seen it. Dreaming of Matcha. Bethelina. But look at it's a small book too. These are the same. Am I in frame? Look how pretty these would be. And I think this book was like $10, maybe $12. I don't remember really, but on the back is a little flower. And they are printed just on the one side. But if you wanted to go on Amazon and look it up, these colors in here are so pretty. That would be a picture in itself to try to do one in those colors, pull all those colors out. So I'm wondering if she colored that page or if an artist did. It's very, very pretty. Yeah, I'm going to have to come in here with a darker pink and do the highlights in this, in the folds of this top. I don't know if you can see it, but it just looks like velvet. Like her dress is made of velvet. The pencil's going down so nicely. And I got that this is a hot press water color paper. And I will show you the exact pad that I got. And I have lots of it. You know, you get something and you think, it must be different than what I got. But it wasn't. It was a lot of the same. And I had a friend, we had a little business online. And I had to leave and give it up, and so she bought me a bunch of art supplies because I just gave her everything that was my part. So I still have some of that paper. Okay. I don't think I want to, definitely don't want to use the deep rose at all. So let me see. Under, wait a minute, what is this one? Maybe this one would be better. I was thinking about this one. That's too dark. So I think this is cinnamon. Yeah. I think this one would work better. So I just want to pop these lines out. So I'm going over the lines, and then I'm going to pull it out a little bit. And it just gives enough of a shadow so it makes a perfect blending color to use. I just want to keep going until this gets dark, and then start pulling it out. Just a little bit. We're not putting any pressure really on this pencil. I'm just going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. Okay. So that kind of gives it a little bit of, like it's actually a fold in the cloth. And just barely bring it out so it looks like there's a little depth in that fold. I think this one went like that. If you get a little too dark, just go back over it with your original color and soften it. Okay. So now I'm just going down into this. This is, to me, this is a piece of material that's sewed like a little ruffle on here. So I'm just giving it a little bit of depth right underneath it with the same cinnamon. And then when you look at it, it will give you that depth. I'm going to come right back in front of these on the opposite side that I did. And I'm just going to give it a little hard press on the other side, right up against that black line on this side. And then I'm going to take my white pencil and just give a little bit of a highlight in between. Just a little bit. And if I don't like it, I'll just come over it with my color and go back into it. And now I'm going to take my beige red and I'm going to go over the top of the whole thing. I'm just going to soften. I don't want to go too crazy. I just want to soften. See, I'm not even changing the color because this is the lightest of colors. So I'm just kind of filling in and softening. When I get up next to these lines, I'm pulling out and pressing down a little more. And it just softens that highlight right up. So, for now, what do you think? I like it, I like it. I know. But I love it. So, what are we going to do with the skirt? I'm only going to use these two colors. And I'm thinking I don't know if I can leave this white or go over it white and make it a much lighter something or another. I don't know. But we got the belt and we got the skirt. So we have to I think we're going to go ahead and do the green on the bottom. And where did I put it? There it is. All right. Let's see. Get me a little swallow in between. All of my shadows. I'm going to leave a little bit of white. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but I'm just saying I'm going to try to leave a little bit of white. And we will come back in and darken these lines too. But right now, we're just going to, and just remember this will show you how to do any of the girls. But you got to practice, like my new friend said. He's a new colorist. He's watched a million, well, he didn't say how many, but a lot of YouTubes. If he's like me, 1.5 million. And we'll go underneath that leaf and make it before you ever start doing anything. So it's time to jump in with both feet and just give it a shot, right? So I just got to fill in these little spots. That was the hardest thing on doing the sailing boat that I just did, was going with that dark blue into all those little tiny spots. But after I started thinking about it, I probably should have mixed some colors with it. Even like in the darkest areas, after I'd done the blue, maybe go over it with black, and then and some of the other things. But we're learning, aren't we? I know with the birds, this is the reason I was thinking about it, because I was trying to think of how to color a blackbird and how do you to make its wings show. So you start out with darker blues and work your way into different color blues, dark colors, some light colors, because they have a little shade about them. So it'll be interesting to try my little blackbird in my birdie book again and see how he turns out. Some of these colors are just so velvety. They look like suede. This would be one thing about, I was talking about in one of the videos, how I got that free color chart of lining the pencils up in my Prisma book according to blending colors. So right now would be a good time to be able to just look over there and see what color would be the next color that would blend well, like in between here. Would help understand. Your colors more too, huh? Of course, the more you use them and the more you get used to the color and the shade, the more you get to know your pencils. And I don't want to come over these on top of these with some other color. I want them to stay as pure as possible because this is such a pretty color. I mean, to come in and do some highlights is one thing, but I don't want to go over the top of it with anything. Period. I love it. And really the pink is a more of a peachy pink, not a pink pink that I chose to do. But always take everything that I learn from every colorist that I like. And there's some good ones, but there's just some that you really, really like. You like their style, you like what you do, so you learn how they do it, but you incorporate it in many areas of your coloring. So everything you learn is valuable, one way or the other. Okay, so we used, I think I'm just going to see what this looks like. Pretty light, pretty light. So now let's see what this looks like. Because I just want this fold in her skirt to look like a fold in her skirt. I'm just trying to I don't know about the yellow. Let's try just the green. So I'm just coming down and filling this line out, and then coming out just a little bit. And I'm trying to color it back over and pull it, which it doesn't pull very much, but blending it. I think we'll do that. Oh, where's my electric one? I'm just going to rotate it on this other side. Oh. Okay. This may or may not be the best color to do it, but I don't like the yellow. So we're just going to use this 167 permanent green olive. And that just gives it a little bit of a separation in her skirt. It's not like it is building that ruffle, that pleat kind of in there, but it is letting you know it's there. And that just kind of blends it really soft and pretty. So I think we did that up here, didn't we? I don't know what color I used, but since we did do that, we do need to bring it up here the same way. Seems like there ought to be something there, but I don't know. Okay. What are we doing? What are we doing? keep finding all the pictures I wanna do, which is good for you because I'm literally filming them. Never in my wildest dreams would I have ever thought I would be doing this. But you never know what you're going to end up doing, do you? But I do enjoy it. I really do. Oh, look at how pretty. If this picture turns out, it is going to get framed. I just really, really like it. Maybe we'll make her belt the darker, maybe. I don't know if that would be like, boom. I don't know. We'll see. All right, so I need to go back. Yeah. I just hooked back up to Up TV on my cable, not my cable, but my internet, Amazon. I thought the new, I don't know if anybody else watches Heartland, but I thought the new one was out. I'll have to go and investigate that tonight. I started watching a movie, and I think I fell asleep on it. I think that's just pretty, pretty, pretty. I'm liking how it's turning out. What I have to think about is what I'm going to make these ruffles. But I think, and then we have to think about what we're going to do on the sleeves. But I want to just use the colors that I've been using, these two. So I think the ruffles up here should go into green, and then make the sleeves pink. I think so. I think you guys got it. So let's start. The sleeves are going to be pink. It's really peach, but they call it salmon. Let me just, so I know. So I know not to come in with another color and start. See if I can put a highlight up the top where it looks like it's got a little. Is this cinnamon? Yep. So I'm going to do the little edging that it's got on here with the cinnamon. Okay. I'm just going to go right in that little groove and make it darker with the cinnamon. And see how it pops. It really, really looks like it's ruffling now. Okay, so now we're going to do the same thing to this one. And then we'll do bring the green up here in this ruffle. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Okay. So we're doing the peach. I just really, really am enjoying this picture. And I have to remember to put it in where to get it on Etsy. But it says down here, so I guess I can just copy that when this is ready. So I probably, what I do the last thing at night is I run it, because it takes a couple hours to upload it, and then it goes through some kind of weird thing on Facebook or on YouTube, and that usually takes about an hour. So it takes a while for these to upload, but I go to bed, and then I get up in the morning and I do whatever I need to do to it, add whatever description. Or I was looking into Amazon, because I know some people, you just click on their little thing on Amazon and they put whatever they get in there, and then you can find it. So I'm looking for that to see if I can do that. Oh, that just looks like velvet. So pretty. No wonder I love these so much. It would be hard to pick if I had to pick now. It would be hard to pick which ones I would do without, because they're all different. And everybody, since I made that one video, said they feel the same way now that they've got them. And that reminds me, one lady said, and this is a really good idea if you live close to a store, is just go down, because like the polychromos and the Prisma, you can buy those individually, and you could just pick out a few of each color and try them to see which one you like the best. But I don't live that close. I got a ways to go to get there. So it's easier for me. Even though I live in Denver, everything is so spread out here. And you have to go so far to go to a Hobby Lobby or to go to Michael's. I don't live close to anything except for Walmart, my grocery store, a little Dairy Queen, a lot of Spanish restaurants. If you don't want to drive a long way, you know, get in the car and just go. Get on the freeway and off you go. I'm just seeing spots that I want to darken up a little bit. Okay, let me see. My eyes are starting to cross. Your eyes ever do that after a while? Your eyes start seeing more than one, and you think, which one is I working on? It's amazing how just the way you draw something, it gives you the illusion of ruffles. And isn't that pretty? I know I keep saying that, but that's what I do. So I think this part I want to do green in our green color. Let's see. I think we're going to stop for tonight. That's 2 hours. And I don't want to mess it up. And I won't do anything else until you come. So give me a thumbs up if you're liking what I'm doing. And tomorrow morning, this will go on tonight, but tomorrow morning when I go in, I will put in the information where to get this picture. And it's off of Etsy. And her name again is Lenka Filonenko. And you can find her, she has more than one thing. And then you own it. It goes on, you buy it and you download it right away. It only takes a few minutes. I usually pay with PayPal. And then it goes on your computer and it goes into your downloads. You have to look into your downloads and you'll find all of these. And a lot of times I'll move them into copy them and move them into a folder on my desktop, which makes it nice because I can put Etsy printouts. And wow, she just turned out beautiful. Her face looks so pretty. So please, please, please subscribe. It's very important right now to subscribe, and if you know anybody who colors, tell them about my page, share it, whatever. But I appreciate everything. Remember, you're very valuable. Remember, you have a lot of worth. Don't let anybody tell you you don't. No matter what's going on in your life, you still are valuable and you have worth. And if nobody's told you today that they love you, I do. I do love you. And you have a whatever time of the day or night it is. It's only 9 o'clock here. Normally I'm up until midnight anymore. Seems like that's my normal. But I will go watch a movie and upload this, and I'll see you tomorrow.